Ferries and their world-famous water ballet. Let's have a big hand for those ballet captains. Another fantastic job out there performing for you today in the rain.
This is the Victoria Harbour Ferries. They actually will be doing this particular ballet in about 45 minutes, I think. So at around 10:45 on Sundays right now, they do a 10 minutes ballet before they start their water taxiing service, which they use the yellow boat right there. And they also do a couple of cruises, so gorge cruise and harbor cruise with the green boat that they use as well. So Sundays, just right now, every Sunday, and then going into June, it goes into every Saturday and every Sunday. So it's a big thing. A lot of the visitors really look forward to kind of having a little bit of a water ballet to start off their day. Whale watching is really big in Victoria as well. So in the summer months between May till October is our peak whale watching season. So a lot of our visitors come here looking to see the orcas, as well as humpbacks, minke and gray whales, and wildlife sightseeing as well. So whale watching is definitely one of the activities that a lot of people really look forward to coming into Victoria, either on the Zodiac or a covered boat. This is one of the cruises that they did. It's the Gorge Cruise. It's 60 minutes long that goes along what's called the Gorge Waterway. The captain is your guide, and this boat particularly is fully electric, so it's a very calm and serene kind of environment. It's a really lovely cruise to go on. Victoria is really well known to be a leader in sustainable tourism. So we work with our members, and a lot of them will invest in striving to have your business being carbon neutral. So Eagle Wing, for example, is carbon neutral. A lot of the accommodations, like the Inn at Lower Point as well, also has a carbon neutral kind of like a designation. So it's starting to get into becoming more common. Boats, Harbour Air, one of the seaplane companies, they also have fully electric planes as well. Yeah, and then with our sightseeing companies, of course, walking tours, you're on feet, so everything is very environmentally friendly. But across the street here, across the street from us is the Sightseeing Victoria. So they do hop-on, hop-off tours. They do Butchart Gardens experience, going out to Butchart Gardens. And a lot of their boats, buses are also fully electric too. The Royal BC Museum is a very big attraction, right? It's been long-standing. It's the main attraction, the main museum for British Columbia, as well as it houses the BC archives. Currently, the museum is going through a modernization, so parts of the floors are closed, but it still has its natural gallery that is really fantastic for visitors to go through. And also it has, if I'm not mistaken, British Columbia's biggest, like tallest IMAX screen. So the IMAX films are really, really nice there. Butchart Gardens spans 55 acres. So it used to be the family home of the Butchart family. And it's world renowned. And actually a little fun fact, if you go to Walt Disney World, at their Epcot Pavilion, they have the Showcase of the World, and one of the showcases in Canada. So they recreate the signature landmarks of Canada. So you have the Niagara Falls, and there's a tiny little version of Butchart Gardens right down there representing Canada. But 55 acres, they have really well-known afternoon tea served in the original Butchart Gardens home. And they have multiple gardens. So the original sunken garden, Italian garden, there's a rose garden, and the lovely, one of my favorite is the Japanese garden. So the gardens is a year-round attractions. They do, right now the spring blossoms are in, and then the rose gardens, Italian gardens, summertime they will have the summer flowers, and then fall and winter. And then they light up the garden in the wintertime with all sorts of light display, showcasing the 12 days of Christmas. So it's a year-round. They have, I think, over 50 gardeners working on Butchart Gardens. Not all at the same time, but it's a significant team to maintain the gardens and make sure that it's looking good year-round. Butchart Gardens definitely is probably the most well-known attraction, and then Victoria, the Inner Harbor is also very popular for the main reasons. It's really beautiful in the Inner Harbor. You have the Fairmont Empress Hotel, the Legislative Building and Royal BC Museum. So the whole area was developed in the early 1900s. And then with all the harbor activities, you have whale watching, harbor air, seaplanes. There's seaplane tours that you can do, like the aforementioned the taxi tours or the cruises that you can do on the water. Craigdarroch Castle, it's just a little bit, about 20 minutes walk from the downtown core. It's also a very popular kind of attractions to go to. We sell sightseeing tours, so we maintain an updated time and list of all of our partner businesses. For example, the hop-on hop-off buses, they're operational. Hours, seasonal hours, we book whale watching tours. We also book harbor air tours, sell admission tickets, offer advice. And a lot of the time we are a gateway center for visitors who don't just want to stay in Victoria, but for example, they want to go up island, because sometimes we have 2 days, people want to stay here. And then, and there are certain things that they can do in 2 days. But then more and more we're finding some of our visitors from other parts of Canada, especially like the eastern part, like Quebec, Ontario, Alberta, who are here for longer stays. Then they want to know what we can do on the island. So normally we start in Victoria and then we talk about the Pacific Marine Circle route, which is the drive that you can do within the day. What else there to do up island towards Nanaimo, and maybe go to Tofino if you have the time. And then some people want to go to Haida Gwaii. Then we talk about Port Hardy, the ferry service to connect to other parts of British Columbia. We offer a lot of services to visitors as well. Everybody likes a little bit different things. Some visitors want to know about history. Then we offer history walking tours, history food tours, combination tours. For the kind of like the a different like special celebration. Some people really want to do like horse-drawn trolley tours, then we book those as well. And then you have a lot of visitors, they're with their campers or RVs, and they just want to do outdoor activities. And they want to know which parks to go, where they can camp. Then we talk about Gulf Stream Provincial Park, talk about the Pacific Marine Circle route, the different beaches along the way. There's rainforest tours that for those without a car, they can go on the tour, pick up right downtown, and then they go on the tour, drive out towards Souk or Port Renfrew, and do either a half day or a full day hike. Lunch is included. They provide walking poles and water, so you never get lost, and then transportation round way. Yeah, it's a lot of things that the locals do on a regular basis, but different parts of the island that if you don't have a car, if you're new to Victoria, you may not have done it the first time around. This year we have about 357 cruise ships coming in. And then the cruise ships coming in, a lot of the times they will stay in port for a variance of between 4 hours up to about maybe like a whole day. And then a lot of them say we don't have enough time to stay in Victoria, and they come back and they stay longer, maybe for 2-3 days next time, and then they come back and stay longer. We have the second highest number of restaurants per capita in North America. So the number one is in San Francisco, and then we have it right here. Yeah, and then we have Canada's oldest Chinatown. And Victoria is really well known for our local restaurants. You don't see a lot of chains here. A lot of them are locally owned, and then a lot of their businesses come from word of mouth. And many of them have been here for a long time. So restaurants like Nautical Nelly's, Pagliacci's, John's, Donmy, so all of the restaurants in the downtown core have actually stood the test of time. Barb's Fish and Chips is very popular. So Redfish Bluefish offers more of a Western style fish and chips. So their fish is kind of it's a different batter. But for a more traditional kind of style fish and chips, Barb's Fish and Chip is really great. There is Fish Store next to Barb's as well, and they specialize in fish, so you can get like steamed mussels and crabs and all sorts of things out there, and everything that they offer is ocean-wise, so it's sustainable. You can just walk along the inner harbor. It's a beautiful walk, about 15 minutes to get there, or you can take the yellow water taxi down from the inner harbor, and it's about an 8-minute taxi ride. I love oysters. So we're very, very fortunate on the island. We have up island primarily like Fanny Bay and around the Gulf Islands, Vancouver Island. There's almost fresh local oysters that are kind of within the waters, not too far away from Victoria. So I love oysters, but I also really love halibut and sockeye salmon, because that's very good too.
And do you like it like in fish and chips, or on a sandwich, or just by itself, or is there a special way that it's cooked that you like?
The salmon, I love it when I get a chance to do it. Some restaurants, certain times of the year, they serve, like Nautical Nelly's, sometimes they have a salmon on a cedar plank that's kind of smoked, and then it's very fresh, it's delicious. But to be honest, I love salmon, so I can eat it sashimi, I can have it chirashi. I don't eat seafood every day, not every day, but 10 Acres, one of the restaurants just across the street here. So a lot of the reasons why, in my opinion, Victoria has so many restaurants, because the farmers, they are very connected to the restaurant owners. So the restaurant owners, a lot of the time, will try to source their products locally. So 10 Acres, the restaurant, their name is 10 Acres because the company actually owns a 10-acre farm on the Saanich Peninsula, which is just about 20 minutes from right where we are. And they source their vegetables, and from their own farm, they raise their own chickens. So
that's a good place to go.
That's a good place to go, yeah. And then we have local butchers and grass-fed, and so a lot of those are, very, very, is a very strong theme in restaurants in Victoria, I think. The main wine production region is actually what's known the Cowichan Valley. So it is, if you're driving out from Victoria, it's about a 25 minutes drive, just outside of Victoria on the way to Duncan. And I can't remember the certification, but in British Columbia, other than the Okanagan Valley, in BC, the Cowichan Valley is also certified as a wine production region. So you'll find a lot of the wineries are located in the area, and a lot of the wine tours going out there too. A couple of them, Island Time tours, especially in the summertime, they do regular tours out there to the Cowichan Valley. Depending on the day, You're always going to get about 3 to 4 winery stops with a bit of a lunch kind of in between. And there's Cheers, Cowichan, there's a variety of companies that go out to do these wine tours. We usually consider June, July, August to be our summer season, but you'll find that Victoria long weekend, which is May 23rd, 24th, that weekend coming up, right after the May long weekend, then the whole city just starts booming and it turns into vibrant summer city. A lot of the festivals start happening. You'll see more buskers out on the street down by the Inner Heart Causeway. Yeah, May's a good time because the weather is starting to lighten up a little bit. Like yesterday, we had beautiful weather, and oftentimes September is really nice too. Because you never really know, because the summer sometimes, some years, kind of stays longer. And so sometimes we get like still really beautiful weather in September, even into early October. It's a beautiful city. We're a city of gardens. We're beautiful in the summer, but we also, the Vancouver Island, city of Victoria, we're a year-round destination. We have a lot of repeat visitors for long-term stays, in the winter. There's skiing on Mount Washington, there's hiking, so regardless of if you're more of an outdoor person or if you're interested in foods and drink, or if you're into history, we have a little bit to offer for everyone. And the people are very friendly here too.